Real truth daily. This is Daily Truths with Dave Allman.
Hi, everybody. I'm in a parking lot here in Aurora, Colorado. I just dropped off my parents-in-law. My mom has an MRI that she's having done over here. And so I'm just sitting here in the car waiting for them to come back and for the MRI to be taken. And so there's this lady who was parking right next to me, and she didn't know I was in the car. And it took her a while to try to finagle her car into the space and get straight. And she tried it 3 or 4 times. And finally she settled and said, I guess this is as good as I'm going to do. And she had no idea that I was sitting right next to her because we have kind of tinted glass here in the car. So she opens her car door and bonks the side of our car, right? I didn't say anything. I didn't roll down my window and say, hey, what are you doing? But had she known that I was sitting right here, would have she bonked my car with her door? Probably not, right? Well, you're probably thinking, what's that got to do with our relationship with God? Sometimes we forget that God's watching us all the time, right? And so we do things and say things and carry out things that are sinful. And we, especially when we're alone or we think nobody's watching. And so we say, oh, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, don't tell me that you don't do that, folks. You do. We all do, because we're sinful. And what we forget is that God is watching us all the time, right? He is watching us 24/7, 365 days a year. So sometimes we think, hey, I can go ahead and say and do what I want because nobody knows, nobody realizes it, nobody's watching me. But we got to remember, God is always watching us. And because he's always watching us, sometimes we sin, sometimes deliberately, sometimes intentionally, and sometimes out of weakness. But the bottom line is he's watching over us all the time. And when we sin, indeed knowing indeed that the Lord is watching us, what should we do? Come boldly before the throne room of God, confessing our sin, acknowledging our transgressions, realizing that we sinned against God, not just against other people, because if we're alone, who's it hurting, right? But we're sinning against God, and he's fully aware. And it's not like this lady who bonked my car and God says, hey! It's not like that. And God just shakes his head and says, yep, you're a sinner. This is why my son went to the cross, to die for you. And yes, you're forgiven, but keep in mind that I'm watching over you. I'm watching everything you do. I know everything you think. I hear everything you say. And I still love you and forgive you for the sake of my son, Jesus Christ. Isn't that comforting to know? I mean, yeah, sometimes we just say, I'm going to bonk the car. In a spiritual sense, we do that, right? But God still loves us, still forgives us. So be cognizant and aware. God is watching us all the time. And when we mess up, he knows it. So we may as well confess it, bring it before the Lord, and know that he loves us and forgives us just the same. And that is today's Daily Truth. Have a great day in the Lord Jesus Christ.
Thank you for tuning in to Daily Truths with Dave Allman. Pastor Dave Allman is the pastor of Mount Hope Church in Boulder, Colorado. If this ministry is blessing you, please consider supporting us by sharing this channel with a friend. You can also like, comment, subscribe, or leave a review. This helps us tremendously. Come back tomorrow for your next Daily Truth.